Hi everybody, Michelle here at Serendipity House in New Hampshire. That's better. I have a fun project planned today, and the paint inlays, I really have been obsessed with them since they came out. They've opened up like this whole other world of creativity for me, and I want them to do that for you. I get excited about them. I found a crate. This is one side of the crate that somebody obviously has painted in latex. I actually sent my son out. I thought he needed a job, and I had him tear the whole thing apart. And then I took the boards and sanded them down because of the latex, and it was really rough. I've got two different colors of paint because on the second imprint of the inlay, I want to put it kind of on the opposite color. So I've already used this one. This will be a second print. This one looks like it has white paint, so I'm going to paint this board green. All right, so this is the part that's going down. It's got some pigment left on it, and this back side has the grid lines showing up more. So you want to put it in design side down, pigment side down. We're going to work pretty quickly. I'm going to go back and take this off right away. Because I'm using a paint that is clay and chalk, I could leave this on overnight. I'm not worried about this sitting too long. If I were doing something with a sealer in it, I would probably be really watching my time and taking that off sooner. Okay, but I'm not worried about too long. Now my paint's wet, so I don't need to use any water on that. Here we go. We're gonna lay that right in. And this is gonna come out pretty bright because this is the first application. So there's, you can see the difference on there. This is Indigo Floral. This is, this and the Rose Chintz were the first two to come out. And my brayer. And I think this has been on long enough, so I'm actually going to go right ahead and take that off. Now, I'm not putting water on this because it's still wet. It's still wet enough, okay? It's been sitting long enough, but let's test it. Let's make sure. This is going to be faded because it's a second use of these strips. Here we go. How satisfying is that? Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at that. This one won't need sanding. The second use of these, I don't think are going to need sanding because I just love the way that's finished. Look at that. Second imprint is really good. I might get a third out of this. We're going to take this off and put it on here now. Now I laid my paint rather thinly so you can see this is the background color that I painted over. If you apply your paint nice and thick, you won't have that, which I actually do on most of my projects. I apply thick so that I can have texture. So there's just all different looks that you can get. Love that. All right, I'm gonna go right ahead. We're gonna get a second use out of this. It's got the white paint lifted from this one. We're gonna put it right on here. Everything is plenty wet. I don't need any water on this. You don't wanna oversaturate. I'm not lining anything up. I'm not lining up the pattern here. And you won't be able to tell when this is together. Here we go. We're going to just roll that on. So once these are dry, the next step is to spot seal them so that you can sand them. I've been using just an enamel. You could use any water-based spray. I use this in the summer because I want to use it outside. We don't get that much outside weather here in New England. So if you need to spray inside, then I would say go ahead and use half water-based top coat and half water. You need to do that so that when you sand, you're not smudging. All right, so I'm using 220 sandpaper just by hand. I just want to kind of knock off that brightness. So this all looks really just old and worn. Wipe this right off. Okay, you can see the difference, right? This is just clear wax. So it'll get wherever the spray sealer didn't. And it also, the reason I'm doing this is because I want to do some shading on the edges. So by doing this first, if I feel like I have too much dark wax, I can go back and I can erase it. Yeah, I like the shading, more shading. Maybe I should do the whole thing. I know I can erase it if I want to, so here goes nothing. This is positive risk taking. I do think this has an awful lot of black. I'm going to take some of my clear and I'm just going to knock this back, and then maybe it'll just stay in the deeper areas. So now the black, it's just staying down low. And I don't know of any other way to do that other than adding it and then removing it from the top. I'm going to attach it to this board. And the reason why I'm attaching it to the board and not just screwing it is because I'm using a really thin birch board. And if you've ever used these birch boards, they're super thin. Caulk gun. All right, I'm gonna cut the top off at an angle. There's also a seal inside here. So you have to break that seal. What's good for that I usually have, but I forgot, is a chopstick. Save those chopsticks at the Chinese restaurants. And now I'm ready to go. So there's just a trigger here.
Desert me. Checking out my horoscope before I walk out the door. Gonna make it beautiful no matter what's in store. Got a lot of shit to shoot and dollars to be made. Whatever you wanna do, I'm free on Saturday. You're feeling yourself tonight like we wouldn't believe. So get up off your feet, we're dancing to a different.
If you try this, give me a shout, tag me. I'd love to see what it is you're doing. Have an awesome day. I'm Michelle at Serendipity House. Have fun, be creative. Bye guys.
You know me? Yeah, you think you know me? Read the sign of my heart, real bitches only. Ain't got no time for your bullshit. I shoot for stars 'cause